Hi, I'm Deanna Keller, an enrollment counselor at King University.
And I'm Mandy Roberts, the Assistant Director of Admissions at King. Today, we're going to tell you a little bit about King, so thank you for joining us. So King University is a private Christian university. It was founded in 1867, and as you can see through the pictures, we have an absolutely beautiful campus. We have over 135 acres, and we're nestled right in the foothills of Tennessee. We're surrounded by lots of things to go and do as far as outdoor, especially because of the mountains. There are biking trails, hiking trails. We have 2 lakes very close range for us if you like that as well. Like I said, King is a Christian university, but it's also a Christian liberal arts education. And our student to teacher ratio is 13:1, which is amazing. That means when you're sitting in your class that your professor is going to know you by name, and they're really going to know what your end game is. What are your goals and what are you wanting to achieve while you're at school? We have 90 areas of study. This includes majors and minors, so lots to choose from as far as that goes as well.
As far as admissions requirements for new freshman students at King, we do require a 3.0 GPA. However, students with less than a 3.0 may be admitted through our admissions committee review process, so you do still have an opportunity for admission. And then regarding test scores, we are a test optional school, so we don't actually require your test scores for admission. However, we do recommend that you send those in as long as you test and do well. We accept the ACT, SAT, and the CLT. So for the admissions process here at King, it's really straightforward and simple. The first step is to submit your application for admission at apply.king.edu, and this is a free application, so we're saving you a little bit of money. The next step, after you submit your application, you will be contacted by an enrollment counselor, and we're going to be reminding you of all the documents that you need to send in. The first one is going to be your high school transcript, so we can pull your GPA, determine your admission, if you're accepted right away or need to go through the committee process. And then if you'd like to send test scores, you can. I mentioned it before, we are a test optional school, so again, those are not required, they are optional. And then you can see there at the bottom that an admissions essay is required for students with less than a 3.0 GPA, and that's so the committee can review your application. So we would recommend an admissions essay as well as recommendation or reference letters.
At King, we have several scholarships, but one of the first ones that we're going to talk about is the Merit Scholarship. So this is the scholarship that is based solely on your academic performance. So as you can see on this scale, you would find where your test score is and where your GPA is. Where those match is what your scholarship would be. So for traditional undergraduate, which is you guys, new freshmen coming in, it could go anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. I do want you to keep in mind, you'll notice that this says for fall 20. So our fall 21 scholarships will be slightly different. Chances are it'll be a little bit higher. And I do know that we are going to have our scholarships this year reflect a little bit more test optional. So if you don't have a test score, it's really not going to hurt your scholarship nearly as much as it did before. So that is something really exciting to look forward to. And also for you seniors that maybe couldn't take the ACT or SAT as frequently this year, thanks to COVID, that'll also help you out as well. We also have the King Commitment Scholarship. So there are some stipulations here, but first and foremost, you need to be a Tennessee resident. So you need to be a Tennessee student, and you must be Hope eligible as well. So for King Commitment, it actually covers full tuition for 4 full years. But you do have several requirements you need to meet. There are some stipulations, but it's an awesome opportunity. So if you're a Tennessee resident and you're applying to King, definitely talk to your enrollment counselor about that so you can get some details about the King Commitment. We also have the Bell Scholarship, which is $2,000, and we have an out-of-state grant as well. So if you're not a Tennessee resident and you're worried about paying out-of-state tuition, the reality is because we're a private university, there is no out-of-state tuition, and you actually get money for being an out-of-state student. We also have other opportunities, and one of those is the SNIDE Honors Scholarship. So in order to be part of the honors program, you obviously have a GPA requirement and test requirement as well. But if you are accepted into the honors program, you also get a $1,000 scholarship. We have performing arts scholarships. So performing arts can be a lot of different things. Maybe you're musically inclined, maybe you like the theater. But these scholarships, if you're going to be a major within that performing art, that's going to be your major, so you want to be a music major, you actually can earn as much as $9,000 to $15,000 in scholarship. But if you're just going to participate, you can actually get participation scholarships. So maybe you're not going to major in music, but you love music and you want to participate in music while you're here at King. You can still major in nursing if you want to and participate and still get up to $2,000 for participating in the music. Because we are a D2 school, we also have athletic scholarships available. Those, of course, go through athletics, not through admission. You would need to be in touch with a coach. But if you are interested in athletics, we actually have a place on our website. You would go to athletics. It will take you to a whole new page, and there's a recruit me form that would go straight to our coach's inbox, and you guys can kind of communicate and start talking about opportunities as far as that is concerned. Financial aid. So, of course, you need to make sure that you file your FAFSA. I'm sure you hear this from your high school all the time. It opens up in October. But FAFSA would be handled through King, of course, like every college, once it is submitted. State scholarships and grants, of course. If you're a Tennessee resident, you get Tennessee Hope. Lots of options in Tennessee. And then, of course, federal grants. But lots of things. First things first, file for your FAFSA. Once you have been admitted into King, we have a wonderful financial aid department that will work with you through all these scholarships, whether it be federal or in-house or out of house, whatever it may be with your scholarships. Our financial aid department will sit down with you and work through your financial plan for King. I will say that King has an impressive amount of students who are actually in less debt than other schools, even locally or all up and down the East Coast. We have a really great a great program for that. And King really wants you to be able to afford King and to be able to leave successfully without being in a lot of debt.
So now that we've covered the academics and financial aid, we'll move into some of the fun stuff about King. So as a freshman student coming in, you can expect to have a lot of fun the first weekend that you're on campus because we have launch weekend or launch orientation. So this is a time while you're moving in and getting settled into your dorm, or if you're commuters coming to campus to get all your things settled with different offices, you get together with other new students. There's lots of activities planned for you. You have a launch group, so you get to know a group of people. You don't feel alone while you're on campus, and you have launch leaders that plan all those events for you. They make sure you know where you're going, what you're going to be doing all weekend. They do both on campus and off campus activities that weekend. So that's a lot of fun to look forward to. And then you actually walk around the Oval together. So the Oval is really important to King's history, King's tradition. So when you first come to campus for launch weekend, you'll get together as an incoming class and you'll walk the Oval together. And then when you graduate from King, if you graduate up on the Oval in the spring, you'll also walk the Oval as a graduating class. That's pretty important. It's just one of King's really unique traditions. Another awesome experience for you, your first semester, your first year at King, is our Experience DC trip. So this is for incoming freshmen, for new freshmen at King. Every September, they take a group of students, all of the incoming freshmen, to Washington, D.C. And this is a practically free trip. You do pay a deposit, but then you get that money back to use for food or spending money while you're on that trip. So this is a 3-day, 2-night trip to Washington, D.C. It's a really awesome experience for you to get to know new students, fellow students. You know, those first couple of weeks you may get to know your roommate, you may get to know other athletes or students in your classes, but this is a chance to get to meet other students and experience new things. So you can go to museums, you can have other tracks that are catered towards your major. So if students are interested in sports management, we've had them go and tour stadiums and speak with sports team managers. So there's lots of different tracks like that. It's a great opportunity for you to learn more about what you want to do and see career options for that as well. Another awesome thing about being a student at King is SLAC activities. So SLAC stands for Student Life Activities Committee at King. This is a group that plans all the activities for you as a student on campus, both on campus and off campus events. So you can see pictured here some of our off campus events. They took a group caving, they took a group to Dollywood. The great thing about these events, even though they're off campus, they are free to you as a student. You can also see pictured here late night breakfast. This is a tradition at King the fall semester right before exams start on that Thursday night. The faculty and staff will get together and they actually serve you breakfast food. And you may be able to see there we usually get dressed up because that's right around Christmas time, right before Christmas break. So they get dressed up in fun outfits and serve breakfast to our students. So it's a great time for students, faculty, and staff to get together. There's also Slack giveaways during that event as well. Pictured here are some more Slack activities. So Slack is also in charge of intramural sports. They help plan a lot of our club events, just doing a lot of fun things throughout the semester to give you a break from studying and being in the classroom, or if you're an athlete from playing a sport seriously, it's sometimes fun just to blow off some steam and play an intramural sport. Some other things to keep you busy while you're at King, if you're interested in the performing arts at all, I know Mandy mentioned earlier performing arts scholarships. So this is an opportunity for you if you're interested in majoring in those programs, you definitely can. But even if you are not a music major or a theater major, you can still participate in those, and it's a good way to get involved on campus and to support the arts. And then lastly here for our student life is athletics. King is NCAA Division II, and we do have 28 varsity sports on campus. So whether you are an athlete looking for a certain sport or you're a student that's a non-athlete, there's going to be something to keep you busy all the time, a sporting event to go watch, teammates and fellow students to go support. So we do have a lot of opportunities within athletics here at King. And we also have a lot of study abroad opportunities. Even though King is a small school, we are not small when it comes to study abroad. We have a lot of opportunities pretty much anywhere you can imagine going around the world. King has sent students there. So we have trips every summer, faculty-led trips to different locations throughout the summer. We also have spring break trips where faculty will lead students. So those are really awesome opportunities to go with a group. And then if you want to study abroad on your own, maybe spend a whole year or a semester in another country studying, we also have programs for that. So the possibilities are really endless, limitless here at King for study abroad.
Thank you so much for joining us today and watching this video and learning a little bit about King. If you have questions, please contact admissions. The email is on the screen and the phone number as well. And if you want to visit campus, we absolutely love having people on campus. We love showing off our campus. So contact us. We can set up a campus visit. You can sit in on a class that you might be interested in. You can meet with a professor maybe from the area of study you're interested in. We'd like to feed you lunch. So often we'll take you to the cafeteria and you can have lunch as well. So please, if you have any questions or you want to visit, contact us anytime. We're happy to help.